Here in Shanghai. We're going to go to a quick break. When we come back, we're going to be going right into the action, so make sure you don't go anywhere.
CS.Money, a new service for trading your skins. Tired of all the skins piling up in your inventory? With CS.Money, trading got faster and safer than ever. Now you can just sign in to our website, choose the skins from your inventory and those you want to get from a broad variety. Confirm the trade and rejoice in your new skins. CS.Money, the best service for trading your skins.
E-gaming bets, online betting for every esports fan. Dota 2 and Hearthstone, CSGO and Overwatch, StarCraft 2, the choice is yours. Express bets for multiple matches or live bets on the game you are watching right now. Know your way around Dota 2? Make a prediction for picks and bans. Playing CSGO? Guess the number of rounds in a certain match. Daily quests for all participants and all the best choice of payment systems. More than 600,000 users have already made their bets on the spectacular matches since 2011. EGB.com. You know for sure who's gonna win.
Hello guys, welcome back. We are, as I said, going to be going into our first game fairly shortly. Joining me again.
Yeah.
Well, not again. It's
Not
the first
again.
time today, but it is
Day
again
one.
for us at least. It happens pretty much all the time now. You know, me and you, Tom
Yeah,
and
it's
Harry,
good.
the duo, to challenge them all,
The dream.
or something like that. But yeah, we're going to be going into our first game, Spirit versus Heroic, and I think I'm sort of with the desk. I think Heroic definitely looking like the team to take this one home.
Yeah, you know, I mean, Heroic, they definitely have that much more experience. When you look at it, they've played in a lot of these, in a lot of, you know, the 100K, 250K events this year, they've kind of been prominent throughout a lot of them. I haven't really had necessarily the best results, but you look at it, I mean, a lot of the DreamHack Opens, we've seen them kind of been able to grab third or second place. I think actually their only second was at Atlanta.
Yeah.
But, you know, I mean, they've at least been getting, you know, some fairly decent results when you look at it. A couple of finishes that maybe I don't think they were that proud of. Perhaps, you know, ESG Mykonos, things like that. Then you look, you know, over at Team Spirit, don't necessarily have that same experience.
Well, yeah, I think that's the biggest thing for them at the moment is just that you look at Spirit in terms of big events, there really aren't any to go on other than like sort of minors and qualifiers, and in the qualifier they got absolutely bodied. But it looks like we're straight into the pistol. Got a decent amount of investment into utility for the T side, and just the kit and the smoke over on Heroic at the moment. And well, it is looking like we're just setting up for that classic A split. A couple of players into middle, ramp. And actually only one player here for the CT side. It's going to be Modi trying to hold this down alone, but in mid already, it's going to be a quick trade.
Yeah, Modi, nope, going to be in with two out here on A. Players putting up through connector, but Modi's on to three. And Yanko said he could be someone to keep an eye on. He's showing that right now in this pistol round. Dima left in the 1v4. Bombs down over there towards the A bomb site. He's going to have to go for it. Does find the first frag over here in mid. He's still got three more yet to find, and they're just going to go ahead and play things safe. Rotate over towards A and try to lock down that bomb.
Yeah, it's going to be a very difficult situation for Dima to do anything here. In middle, bomb over towards ramp. Doesn't have any utility, only has the Glock, 52 HP, and this should be nigh on impossible already. Nico is going to finish him off, and a nice pistol round coming in. It is. It's the old school aim star of Modi to actually start things off with a triple kill, and it didn't really come in as a split at all. It was sort of the players just got ruined over towards the A site, and then the remaining just trying to come in from behind were a little bit too late. We are, however, going to have our force spy come in from the CT side, or T side, sorry. And the CTs actually got a couple of MP9s. We are big fans of the MP9.
Yeah, I've always been its biggest fan. I think, in my opinion, best gun in the game. So
SMG kills.
Some money made.
Yeah, 3 grand in for the CT side, so that's already a huge start. Not really any damage done either from Team Spirit, and I'll be interested to see if they're actually able to afford an AWP. I don't think they will do, unless Davkos is going to go glass cannon for that first buy round over on the T side. And he is someone who I think, impact-wise, we're going to be looking towards. For me, at least, as well, Coldie. I think Coldie has been the sort of star player in this team for quite a while now, and to be fair to them, their roster has been fairly static. It's only been Starix obviously leaving the team.
That was awful. That was not the run boost I think they'd hoped it would be. Yeah, mid is going to be a mop up, but yeah, no, I mean, I have to agree that when you look at this, you know, they took Starix out recently. They bring in Arch to replace him.
Took him out, he left.
Well, yeah, he left.
So
I haven't actually really seen Arch play, I'll be honest.
I've seen him in a few teams. He's not bad. I don't think he'll be coming into the roster as like a star player or anything, but I think as someone to just add in as like into this sort of mixed style team, I think this will work quite well for them, especially because the old Spirit, I actually think was better because they try and pull in all this strategy and it just didn't seem to work at all.
So do you mean the Kabakan days?
Yeah, I don't think the Starix team was any better. Either way, Modi, a little bit of aggression already. Arch is going to start things off. Snappy looking for the trade, and there is a rifle on the floor, but already Coldie will have pushed out. It's actually going to be Arch to find the kills, and this is just a slaughter at the moment on the A site. CT side unable to do anything. Nico will be left blind, but still finds the kill.
We're not allowed to get that bomb down just yet, but S-Tag gonna fall over in mid. Now leaves this all on Nico. And in through the smoke, Arch can be able to pick that one up, no problem. Bomb plant, not secure, but that doesn't matter. Would have been a nice, you know, little bit of extra cash.
Mr. New Boy on the block. 3 kills for Arch in that round. Nice start for him. Was a bit of a bonus round for Heroic, though, so they can comfortably buy back into this one. A little bit of utility missing on Yugi, who's brought up the AWP. I think he's actually dropped that. And then, yeah, rest of the players absolutely fine. So it's the chance now to break straight back as the T's are yet to really build any cash. Once again, they're going to go straight over towards this A site and have one man in the form. I think it's a Coldie. No, it's Sophic over towards mid. But it's basically the exact same play we saw in the previous round, except Yugi already been burnt down to 29 HP.
Oh, gonna be able to find one. Into Palace now, holds it close. Players already pushed out in past Tetris. As Dima makes his way into the site, is aware there's players over in CT, but wants to try and contend with the AWP on Yugi. Doesn't allow him to push on up. Watches that gap in the smoke. While Sophic starts to clear things out from behind. Snappy tries to deny the bomb plant, but that's where Sophic pounces on out. And now Modi in CT spawn. Does have support from Nico. 2 players here with S-Tag and Yugi. That's secure middle. S-Tag's able to take the first, but will he account for the man now wrapping round? Doesn't matter. Dima decapitates the first. Shots rain in through CT, and it is going to be Yugi to pick him up. 2 versus 3, but Arch on this lengthy flank could make all the difference there. Not ready for this whatsoever. Arch in with 1. Davkos going to go down. Defuse coming in, and Arch has to move quickly here. As Modi gonna get taken out. Arch in with 3.
He's going to die. Oh, well, never mind.
Oh, I mean, jet lag is affecting everyone, I think. These guys, you know, we saw Yugi stand on that Molotov down at, what, like 29 HP. Me, you, Tom. It's not good.
Yeah, me, you, and Yugi.
The iconic 3.
But yeah, no money for the CT side into this round, and Arch knows it. Just going to look to try and build up a little bit of extra cash. And well, simple start for Davkos with that AWP. It's been a good start for Arch, has to be said. Both rounds that they've managed to win so far, he's had massive amounts of impact. His flank, of course, winning them the round. But this one should be fairly simple for Spirit. So they are, unless they make some sort of massive mistake, going to even up this scoreline. Snappy will at least be able to take 1. Any damage is welcome because, of course, only 1 player surviving in the last round for the T side. They need to keep this one as clean as possible. Otherwise, Heroic still have a big chance to actually reset them going into the next round. I'm interested to see the money for Heroic to, well, wonder if we'll actually get an AWP into the next round onto Yugi, because I don't think they had that much spare cash. It may just have to be more of a rifle buy. Now, they do actually have a couple of players over towards this B site, which could set up a bit of a crossfire. And Davkos missing the shot, but luckily Coldie is going to be there to save him. Snappy still with a chance again. A couple of low players now to make things costly as possible, but he'll go down to the Mach 10 of Arch, and Modi is nowhere near.
Yeah, Muddy's hoping maybe he can find some exits here and over in middle. That would be nice. Yeah, he can assault pick, but shooting like that, Muddy isn't going to get anything anytime soon. Spirit actually able to tie things up early on. 3-3 here on Mirage, as the buy will be coming back in for Heroic. Going to be allowed to get rifles across the board. A little bit limited in terms of utility. They have 2 incendiaries and 5 smokes. No defuse kit. 2 flashes as well, which are going to be extinguished fairly early on, you can't help but feel like. So don't have much to go to a retake here, nor anything to really keep Spirit off of these sites. The 2 incendiaries going to be worth their weight in gold. At least in the early stages of this. Smoke goes down initially over there on ramp. Dwindling down, and Spirit, they've pushed right on through. Anyway, the very limited utility useless now. Spirit have seized control of these early stages of A. Nico gonna go ahead and drop one over him in. Maintains the man advantage for Heroic, but they've started to seep on out in towards the A-bomb site. Modi waits over in CT, and he could be the linchpin, the difference maker here. Spirit start to seize control. Deny that bomb plant. Davkos is going to go down. Yugi in with one more. Now it's Coldy left 1 versus 4 up in the Palace. They had limited utility, but they've made it work. They've denied this push, and now the bomb's down and out in the open. Coldy, 1 versus 4. Tom, you said you thought he was the man to keep an eye on, but this might be too much of an ask for him this early on. Modi bids him farewell, and that's Heroic. Secure themselves a 4th, and they don't pick up the AWP there.
That is interesting. I'm quite surprised they don't pick up the AWP. Maybe something they're going to try and do in this next round. The rotations there from Heroic were so quick as well. All 4 players just waiting patiently. The second that bomb plant is attempted, they just, deny it, and that's round over. Coldy's position, pushing back out of the Palace, is pretty much impossible. You'd have to do something ludicrous if they are going to be able to take that round. And Spirit actually going to go for a very early tactical pause. I'm a big fan of this. I think teams a lot of the time do wait a little bit too long, and a lot of the time you sort of wonder, okay, now there's only 2 rounds left of the half. Was it really worth going for something like that? So only losing 1 buy round, clearly not feeling happy about how it went down. They did get pretty much dominated over on that A site, and they're just going to look to try and switch things up early.
Yeah, they're very much like that. I mean, far too often, as you say, we see teams leave it too late, and the changes then are very minuscule, and especially when you have a limited amount of pauses, you want to try and get as much bang for buck as you can out of them. So curious to see what it is they're going to change. Right now, Coldy not really finding his footing in the early stages of this map.
I put too much pressure on him. That's
and Arch, the man who said isn't here to put up numbers, he's putting up numbers right now. He's 8-4.
Clearly, I know nothing.
So Tom predicted Heroic. If I were you guys, I would go all in Team Spirit. Let's see those we had in this round. Davkos going to have himself the AWP, and that this is a man who can turn heads with this weapon.
T-side playing slow in this early round, a bit more of a default, waiting for any aggression from the CT side, and it is something I expect to see from Heroic. As we saw, they did actually stick to the rifles. A lot of utility already expended. There's only 1 minute, or there's over a minute left on the clock, and we've only got a single smoke and a flashbang, which not going to mean much stopping power at the moment for the T side. Modi, however, will start things off, but here comes that push into the B side. S-Tag's waiting. He goes down. Quick couple of trades, and Arch is just on fire at the moment. Another couple of kills for him, leaving only 2 remaining in the form of Nico and Modi. 1 man over towards short, the other in CT, and well, it is a one and done round for Heroic. The money not going to be in a good state. Keeping these 2 weapons in play may give them more of a chance, but Arch is still just lurking in these back lines. He wants to try and remove any extra weaponry that he can. Modi will spot the rifle though, and that's going to be a simple kill for him. And now T-side looking to just try and keep the remaining players alive.
gonna be honest with everyone, you know, watching along at home. We're having a couple of audio problems, just miming out the issues. But 4-4 right now. Gonna be all equal once again. Davkost still has the AWP out for Spirit. And this time, looks like he's gonna be taking that over towards middle. Wants to try and hold for any early aggression. And Heroic not gonna be giving it to him. Instead, 2 players over at short. Boosting up. There's Davkost and the gang start to descend onto middle. This could be the ideal place for that boost to come in. Smoke goes down over at short. You have the man up preemptively to shut that down. Have Yugi as well waiting over here in ladder room. It's going to get smoked up in window, so we can't deny these players that are making their way out through mid, but that's where Nico pounces into action. Able to take that first. And now, man advantage for Heroic.
Yeah, Yugi is going to be able to pick up one more. And already, like, this is sort of a force buy for them. So you sort of have to look at this CT side and say, if they can steal this one away from Team Spirit, again, they're going to be struggling with money. They lose a couple of players towards the end of the last round. And in terms of map control, they really don't have too much at the moment. They've been handed middle from the CT side, but it seems like that's been more of them just allowing the T side to have that little bit of control. Coldy looking for this further aggression, but Yugi waiting patiently behind. And they have just taken a couple of man advantage and fallen back. Into the crosshair they go, and already gets the first. Davkost low, the second will fall as well. And Arch eventually meets the same fate. Flawless round from the CT side, and it seems like when they have the weaker buy, the economy a little bit more questionable, that's where Heroic step up.
Yeah, I mean, I love that angle over towards short. When you watch it, you know, Yugi just locking it down. You get like just riddled with anxiety when you see 2 players peek a corner like that. You know, when they're just perfectly lined up into someone's crosshair. It wasn't quite, you know, the collateral that I think we dreamed of, but
What is this buy? They've got Coldy fully invested and the rest of the team saving. I guess they're just going to basically try and do as much damage as they can, knowing the economy is low, and then in the next round he'll just have to go for a pistol. So it's a strategy you see sometimes, but if he doesn't get any kills, then it basically just means he's just hindered himself. And considering how he started, I'm a little bit worried, because I would much rather see a team actually go and just try and get their full buy, work as a team, rather than just sort of going, okay, well, you're going to try and kill everyone this round, and if that doesn't work, you can just have a pistol. Like, CZ's not a bad gun, or, well, no, not so much Tech 9. That's kind of fallen off. Either way, Coldy up in the palace. He definitely likes these more confined space. We see him play apps on Inferno, sometimes with an XM, which is my favorite weapon, but already he's going to be going down. That's the rifle dropped. It will fall into the hands of a teammate. It doesn't have any armor, and Arch is still going to be picking up frags, and he's managed to get a rifle of his own. Eventually, Snappy is going to be able to trade, but they have done a bit of damage at least. If Davkost could maybe get one more, that would be a pretty decent round, considering they are going to be buying into the next. And there we go. That's actually an AWP into his hands as well. This gets a little bit interesting, but instead runs in with a pistol. Maybe didn't know he had it. And it will be S-Tag to eventually close it, but 3 kills. Only 1 rifle invested, and now they buy back in and try and break the economy of the CT side. God, he's still on 1 kill.
yeah, it's always sad
I've
to
jinxed
see.
him. That's all right. Inferno will be his map.
There you go.
Now I've jinxed him for that one as well.
That's the prediction. So we're ready for a 0-19 performance.
0-19. That's oddly specific. You think they're gonna get a few rounds?
Yeah. 3.
Maths.
Here we go. Have Spirit over here towards apartments once again. They've been big fans of this. They're going to go pushing on through as Dima tries to retake control of his house. And S-Tag will send him back. He's going to be in with a second before Nico. What's that trade? Oh, doesn't want to take too much damage here. Try and keep time for Snappy to drive the knife into the back of Spirit. Coldy just wasn't meant to be. Not destined to double his kills anytime soon. Snappy able to pick that up, no problem. Now the pause called in at once again. You know, I mean, we commended them for taking it early on, but now we look at it and they haven't really been able to get too much done.
Oh, we zoomed in on the TV.
Oh, I wondered where we were. This is magnificent.
We've just been, you said something wrong and they've just cut you off.
Yeah, we're off the air.
Off the air, but is there going to be something like on the TV, or am I just? I feel like we've just been hijacked by like Anonymous or something.
Yeah. This is an announcement. Starladder for the major. 2018.
Yeah, we do have our tactical pause in. Heroic, I've been liking the aggression we've seen in the last couple of rounds. Like, that flank was so well timed to just drop the bomb. S-Tag doing work. And in terms of the B-site hold, I do think that's where we haven't actually seen too much weakness from Heroic so far. The A-site, at least early on, was a little bit more worrying, but it seems like they've also rectified that as well, and is more now looking towards someone other than Arch to actually sort of step up to the plate, because the rounds that they've won so far, a lot of them have been down to him, and we haven't seen anybody else in a sort of similar stance. Now, interestingly, Yugi actually, he's been using the rifle for the majority of this game so far, and he's still right up the top of the board. Does have his AWP this time.
Yeah, things are going to get even better now that he's onto the AWP. Snappy, though, early on over here in middle. They want to try and run boost together. It hasn't really been working out for Spirit. They do manage to survive, though. They've got Dima down through mid, but he's only got a Glock in his pocket. That won't last too long as Nico to find that nice and easy. Snappy. Whoop. There you go. In with two. Down in mid. It's just a slaughter, you know, a nice mop up there in the anti-eco from Heroic. The MP9 didn't really get to do too much on S-Tag, as it was over towards apartments. Would have been a nice chance to get some money, but he's going to be rebuying up into this round anyway. Gets throwing a rifle across in Spirit. Well, they've got themselves the AWP up on Davkos once again. Rifles for everyone else. Good bit of utility as well. So I imagine we're just going to see a set play in this round.
Yeah, there's one thing that we haven't seen from them so far is just sort of a proper A execute. We saw them sort of just going dry a few rounds ago, where it was just more Arch getting the entry kills, but instead it's the CT side who've actually switched up their setup, a lot more aggression over towards that A side of the map. Two players around that dark spot under balcony, and actually going to see some aggression from Yugi as well. They've just sort of sectioned off B. They've been able to stack the A side because Yugi's so far aggressive, and this is great from the CT side.
It's an interesting change to make. They've rotated S-Tag off. They left Yugi there just to lock it down with the AWP, and that means they can have the one man over on B. He does the efficiency of them both, and that's now allowed them to rotate S-Tag over here towards the A bomb site. So they have a four-man stack inside of A. With that aggression from Yugi netting them control of apartments. If he lands his first shot, he should send the message to steer clear of B, but if he goes down, that site going to be overrun.
It's more short, though, that I'm worried about, because there's no presence there whatsoever. So T-side could walk in, and then Yugi is completely surrounded. Of course, there comes the peek, and that is the first kill as well for Yugi. 35 seconds left on the clock, and the bomb is still up in apartments, so if they are going to switch things up, they need to do it quick. Sotfik doesn't know that there's actually a stack in play, and pushes straight into it, but now Yugi is the only man on the site. Has to try and defend it alone, at least wants to buy some time. The rotation already in from two of the CT players, and he's still holding the angle. The bait comes in, though, but it's still just trades. 2 versus 4. Another for Coldy, finally getting himself onto the board, but 3 players, 9 seconds. It's just not happening, and Modi will double down to close the round. 9-4. Heroic now taking a fairly hefty lead, and the T side falling flat.
Yeah, and, you know, it seems like with both of these teams, they both almost have, you know, something to prove. Heroic kind of a team that bound back and forth between that higher tier and then sort of, you know, what we look at as kind of like the tier 2. This,
we're caught in a loop.
Yeah, just how did it happen out of a
simulation?
Yeah, escape the glitch down a bit. Rift in the simulation. Dima. Peeking out through the smoke. Knows there's a man close. Davkos comes walking into his arms, finds that frag, and now they have got a man up on short. Davkos going to try find a little bit more as he breaks that back. Drop down in the window, but Dima decapitates Snappy, and now 2-man advantage up for Spirit. They've taken control of mid in a big way. Leaves Modi and S-Tag, the 2 men left for Heroic. Modi over here in middle. S-Tag over in the B-bomb site in Spirit. They've seized up completely. They've slowed right down. Don't want to risk losing anyone. They want to try and keep this comfortable two-man advantage. Have to go back and pick up the bomb as well. Now they're going to look to try and move into one of these sites as a unit.
Modi now going to try and find a little bit of info, but Davkos well positioned, and now S-Tag, well, he's on the right site. Nice start. Does manage to finish off Davkos, and a second as well. But the bomb is now going to rotate over towards the A site. If he can get rid of, I think it's Arch, and maybe there's actually a chance to turn this into 1v1. Instead, he's going to be running around. Arch spots him, but this gives a small window. If S-Tag can get the kill onto Coldy, actually has a chance to just steal away the round. He knows there's an opponent behind him. It still leaves him into two separate 1v1s. It's just such a good position from Arch now to try and come in from behind. Just going to tap the bomb, look for that defuse, and the peak is going to be coming out from Palace. The bomb not actually planted for Palace at all, so it's not expected from S-Tag. He was facing over towards the ramp, which, fair enough, really. It is where the bomb was planted for. And instead, Spirit are going to get themselves a 5th round. And all that really came down to was just patience. The CT side were getting so confident that we saw multiple players peek into middle. Finally, the punishment came in from Team Spirit. And as I said, they managed to get a 5th round, but even still, it will be the CT side just able to buy fully into this final round of the half.
Good shot again, 10 rounds here for Heroic. Yugi smoked off over a middle. Team Spirit going to start to just charge on in. They've been very quick on the aggression. Nico up on short, will be spotted from Dima. Snappy has the crossfire, comes in with the trade straight away. Avcost going to be afforded one more frag over in middle, and now two players are light in weight inside of B for Team Spirit. S-Tag will be holding it close. And support as well from Yugi. Starts to peek on in. The timing here could not be worse for him. Actually saying that now catches them with their nades out in with one, but Coldy gonna grab himself the trade, fumbles around with the gun for a little bit and starts now to charge in towards the B-bomb site. Yugi, first man on the scene. And nade finds some good damage. Modi gonna go ahead and slam dunk Davcost into oblivion. Yugi with the dual Beretta switches things out to the AWP. Oh, that's the gun spotted. Yugi gonna dispatch of Coldy, and now Sophic 1v1. But it takes two to tango. Can't get on that bomb just yet. Does smoke it off. Might try and stick things here. Baits him out with the fake defuse. Goes in with the peek with the dual Berettas. And Yugi, he's going to be sticking it. Sophic's got no idea.
Oh,
misses it. Yugi going to be allowed to get that all day long. It is going to be a 10-5 half-time. Heroic 5 rounds to their advantage. Looking good here heading into the second half. And Sophic, he's got to be kicking himself there. Didn't anticipate him just sticking the defuse the second time around. Second, the flash goes off. He knows it's too little too late. Tries to land the spray in through the smoke, runs out of ammo, and things go from bad to worse. So at the end of that first half, Yugi and S-Tag top of the board for Heroic. Arch and Davcost going to be bringing up the front for Spirit.
Yeah, Arch slowed down quite significantly from the sort of early rounds, and you could really tell the difference. The scores are currently wrong because we're switching sides, so it is still Heroic in the lead. We haven't just switched scores for the fun of it. But yeah, I think there's definitely a few.
Just really want Spirit to be in the lead.
So, I think we all do, right? Especially Risk. He's been gunning for Team Spirit to be Heroic all day. Been talking about it all morning. Even got up early, even though he's not in for a few hours, just to talk about how much he wants Heroic to lose. Either way, CT side, straight Kevlar, a little bit of utility for Snappy as well. They are going to be, I feel like they may boost into the window here. They've got a decent amount of middle control. 4 players from the CT side currently over towards that A site, which could be a little bit of a problem. Smoke's gone down to allow a little bit of a cross in, but Davkos will be holding to make sure they can't flank. And it makes this B push a little bit more difficult, as they did plan to just split him from behind. Dima actually looking like he's rotating back knows the players are pushing out, but they are just setting up for this retake. They still have to get the man out of jungle, but Dima's now hitting the headshots, leaving it down to just 3 players for this T side. Bomb needs to be retrieved, and Dima just continues, and this is a slaughter. Not a single player lost for Team Spirit. Bit of an intriguing setup, but it works wonderfully.
I'm going to be quickly applying some of my numbing throat spray, Tom. So you can take this one all day.
You want me to carry on talking?
That's fine. I'm going to move the microphone away so you don't hear the squeals of pain.
T-side are investing back into this one. The CZ obviously coming back into fashion, as we can see here. 4 of them in play. And Nico with the utility just looking to try and pop flash them in. And once again, there's only 1 player over towards this B side. So this rush is going to leave it all onto Dima. Sophic has rotated in from short. Sprays it first, but still just going to be the trade. And that will be a rifle if they can get to it. However, Davkos is going to deny that. Doubles his kills for this round and leaves Nico, well, maybe just Snappy, who's not really in a decent position here, coming back around from the apartments. And he will fall as well. Only 1 player dropped. Rifles should be retrieved.
Same.
And is that how you feel as well?
Yeah, relatable.memes.com.
That's probably an actual website, isn't it? And I hate that it is.
Yeah, me too.
That's the planet we live on. 10-7 though. We're winning the pistol, and well, unless there's a catastrophe in this round, the follow-up rounds as well will bring Spirit right back into this matchup. Over on that CT side as well, so it definitely isn't over just yet. And a bomb plant attempt. That's what Heroic are going for in this round. Going to try and burst out of the Palace. Arch just going to get himself some eco frags. That's nice spray control. And will it be the ace? Ooh, okay, jumping headshot with a CZ. Thank you, Valve.
Yeah, it's gonna be a 10-8 scoreline right now, and Spirit are gonna try and keep this momentum going. Have the AWP on Davkost. Buy comes in for Heroic. Just gonna be AKs across the board, but they've been fine on these rifles. They've been preferring it in some of these rounds, opting to stick with the rifles in favor of the AWP. We saw them do that early on in the first half. Snappy. Oh. Nope. Going to be allowed to take Davkost nearly a second as well as he starts to rain damage in. Well managed to pick that up. Coldy goes down, and now it's Arch left at 1v4. Be able to find Snappy. He's still got 3 frags left to find. He might be the man that we're keeping an eye on right now for Spirit, but this could be too much to ask even of him. The latest addition to this Team Spirit roster. They're just going to opt to try and save over in mid. I'm going to hate saying his name on Inferno because
Arch has gone Arch.
And it's just anyone walks his way, and you have to say like, oh, Yugi's walking towards Arch.
It's a good thing there isn't a player called Diggity.
It's true.
Oh, just the new models are pretty.
Modeled, of course, after DDK.
Definitely not after me. I think there's another one that's modeled after me.
There it is, Tom. We all know which one we're talking about.
Either way, CT side still had a decent amount of cash to actually buy back into this round. They've gone for the double up setup. Davkos will be glass cannon. But Sophic is definitely one, especially on Mirage, to play with this AWP. Coldy and Arch actually going to lead in with a bit of aggression over towards ramp, and there will be players waiting for them. Quick trade, but it's the T's that come out on top. And in fact, that leaves only 1 player anywhere near the A site anymore. Pushing in through the connector will be Davkos. The T's are just going to slow down. No reason to try and re-aggress over towards this A site. They don't know if there's a stack in play. And with a man advantage, all they really need to do now is just trade effectively. Instead, just spotting out for any middle aggression will be Snappy. And the rest of the team still setting up to hit towards A.
Yeah, I mean, they got plenty of time. They need to be snappy about it. As as he actually makes his way over here towards apartments. He's here all on his lonesome. Doesn't have support from the rest of the team. Going to try and instead either shut off some of these rotations, which does look to be the case as they leave a man over in Palace now start to line up smoke. So it's going to be the A-side take. You have Snappy there to catch these players rotating in from B, catch them crossing into middle. Nina had to step up in the site there, but it's taking a step down as he falls at the first hurdle. Davkost and Sopvik left. Double AWP set up in the retake, which is the least ideal thing that they could have possibly hoped for. So they will just look to try and save here. Heroic going to be allowed to get themselves a 12th round, and there's potentially 2 AWPs out there for them to loot, which, you know, you can imagine. That's $4,750 worth of hardware. And they want that Snappy. Might better find both, but that's a little bit more than he's bargained for potentially here. Is right behind him, there is going to be Sopvik. Going to get rid of Davkost. Sopvik realizes the error of his ways as he's fed his friend into the belly of the beast. And going to try and escape. Ooh. And don't go any further forward. Yugi locking down the angle. We're going to find that. So Heroic in with 12. The AWP carried forward, but they have no money to invest into this round.
Yeah, it's not great, is it? just highlighting that it's not going very well for the bottom 2 players on Team Spirit at the moment. And that's the one thing on Heroic at the moment. There really isn't anybody sort of underperforming. It's been a decent showing from the whole team. 12-8. Davkost going to be chucked over the AWP. So it's still the primary up. You do see it quite often, actually, where teams just don't do this. Oh, you've got Kevlar, you can keep it. But they will give him the chance to sort of open things up in this round. Arch is going to be playing up close. Play around the corner. That's another rifle in, however, quickly traded out. Still damage being done by this CT side as they manage a second kill. And maybe this Davkost AWP could have a bit more impact than expected. Sopvik desperately trying to find S-Tag through the smoke, and he's done a decent amount of damage at least. But, okay, never mind. He actually goes down as well. So a little bit of a chance here. Nico will rectify the problem, but look, it's a rifle picked up for Sopvik, who has the Kevlar behind it, and the AWP for Davkost as well. The only problem is they would have to move very quickly to get back into this site. They do not have a kit, and already they'll get slaughtered. 13-8, 3 rounds needed for Heroic to close out this first map, and their opponent's pick as well.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty terrifying if you're Spirit. I don't really think you're coming into this matchup the heavy favorite in any aspect, right? I mean, you're definitely the underdog.
Surprise factor.
Yeah, I mean, already getting off if this goes the way of Heroic, that's going to be quite a hard, you know, quite a bitter pill to swallow for Team Spirit. Right. Inferno, for example, is still a good map for the both of them. Sopvik going to be holding close over inside of B. They're going to be allowed to sneak on by. Modi picks that up, no problem. B-bomb site very quickly goes the way of the Danes. Snappy only at 9 HP, but he still have to find Arch over here in middle. Delays these rotations coming on through, and Davkost finally going to be the one to trade that. Oh, bumping around into each other and connecting everything. Davkost, king of these exit frags. Going to be a 14th for Heroic regardless. Tom, I think me and you have just both come down with some mysterious Chinese illness.
I think I just have a cold. Unless there's, maybe it's a certain strand.
Maybe it's from all the duck we've consumed.
Yeah, there's a lot of duck here. I was pleasantly surprised when the chicken nuggets I bought actually had chicken in them.
The chicken burger I bought, however,
did not. Yeah, you know, it's like the substitutes. Like they just, you wanted something, we'll give you something else.
They are both birds.
Yeah,
so you
both
should
birds.
You should think yourself lucky.
Both meat.
Yeah. I mean, I hope.
Safe to say.
I just presumed it was duck in the burger, right? I mean,
it might have been. I don't think it was chicken. It was interesting. Either way, another tactical pause for Spirit. So that's number 3. I think that means they have one more. 2 per half, if I'm correct. But yeah, it leaves them not really much to be desired at the moment. They've decided to invest into this round. It's not the best spy, but it's definitely not the worst. They've got 4 rifles, UMP on Dima to get a little bit of extra utility. The problem is now, though, is if they lose this, they're just going to be going in with a pretty similar buy in the next round, if not, maybe even a slightly bit worse. So, crunch time for Team Spirit. They don't want to go into the second map, which I believe is new, with a disadvantage already. You'll see a little bit of aggression onto short. Straight into middle, though, and Arch, he does start off, but he's not going to be able to get the trade, which, if anything, will still benefit this T side. A lot of utility, all the utility, in fact, other than just a few flashbangs and an incendiary expended from the CT side already, and there's still so much time left on the clock. Meanwhile, the T side, well, they pretty much have enough for a full execution. A little bit limited on smokes, but the Molotovs that they have is going to make things quite difficult for Team Spirit to hold on to that A site, which seems like where the T's are going, although they have slowly started to rotate off. We're seeing aggression as well. Look at Dima and Sotfik all the way through those B-amps. This could work wonderfully because Modi and Yugi are both pushing in this direction. It is going to come down to a lot on timing, and there's the aggression. Finds the first. Can Dima get the second as well? No, he can't. So again, still just going to be a trade. And Davkos now holding down the A side. Looks like Heroic are a little bit disjointed in this round. Again, they'll go back towards B, leaving Sotfik alone. He's blinded up, but still manages just to escape. Try and hold on for now. 30 seconds on the clock, and eventually Team Spirit will close around. The late aggression, I think, was what actually won it for them.
Yeah, and it's a good thing they did. And buying would have been a bit of a tricky subject into that next round had they lost it. And that could have been very much the window of opportunity that Heroic needed to win out this first map. So 14-9, Team Spirit delay that match point another day. Yugi gonna have himself the AWP out towards middle this time, takes the aggression. Smoke goes down.
Just got shot through the wall.
Yeah, don't go back there. As he gets taken out, a modest 64 HP.
That was a warning shot. That was Yugi just saying, "Hey, go on, do that again." He does actually do a decent tag onto S-tag as well, so just a pretty even trade early in this round. 1 minute 20 left on the clock. Well, Arch going to have to reposition. Slight mistake with the smoke. They have fallen back into a bit more of a standard setup on this CT side. Of course, Team Spirit, if they lose this round again, it's going to be real trouble for them. It will be another one and done scenario. I don't think Heroic have a huge amount left in the bank, but obviously it's a lot easier to get buys together over on that T side. 45 seconds up and coming on the clock, and still hefty middle control for Heroic.
Arch walks into the waiting arms of Nico. Davkost over here in jungle. Sotfik starts to do damage from range as he does find one. Coldy's the only man left now inside the A-bomb site. Has players walking his way, and in comes Yugi from behind. Sotfik down. Coldy can't get anything done, and now Dima left 1v2. Knows roughly where both of these players are. Spots the first man. That's Modi down, and now Yugi starts to push on in, but Dima the Destroyer able to find himself two. Keeps the dream alive for Spirit here in map number 1 as he gets the 10th round. Denies Heroic that match point, and also now breaks the economy of the Danes. They have to take the pause here and figure out what it is they want to do, how they're going to plan this investment. You have players who can put a little bit of money into this one. S-Tag and Snappy can actually get some decent equipment to go with it. You can see a couple of Deagles bought up. They look a little bit stressed.
We'll see if one of them will save, maybe to drop the AWP to Yugi in the next round. He's been playing pretty well with the rifle anyway, so it wouldn't be the end of the world if they were to just stick with it, but still in a decent position. I wonder if they'll have any of these that will just sort of be like mean. So like frag leader, and then just have one that's like bot. I don't know. I don't know if anybody would have created some brutal ones, but I think maybe that's just me being a horrible person. Don't look impressed.
you know, I mean, I might not look impressed, but let's see if that will change as Heroic start to push over here towards this B-bomb site. Dima, he's been spotted. His little head keeps peeking on over. S-Tag completes the transition from S-Tag to S-Tag as he gets dropped down low. Dima wants to be the star of the show. Oh, he's fully blind, but he's going to be in with a fourth. Could make it the ace. 10 HP. Going to retreat back. And Snappy, well, your team are all dead. You've lost your Danish brethren. And Archer's coming around from behind. It's not looking good for him here. Bombs out in the open. Dima's thirsting for the ace. Will he get it? Or will Arch, the dream killer? Oh. Dima gets it. There you go. Ace for him.
Second ace of the game for Team Spirit. The first going to Arch. Obviously both in positions where the other team are limited in the buy, and, well, will Yugi glass cannon it? That's the real question. No. Just going to stick with the rifle. Both teams now with a fairly decent buy. It doesn't look like Davkos going to invest into any utility. There we go. Just taking his time. It's going to be 14-11. Still a chance for Team Spirit to get themselves back into this game. Only 3 rounds the difference now, and with the sort of way things are going at the moment, it is Heroic having to eco every other round, although loss bonus will start to build up. Bomb plants can then play a big factor in terms of actually getting them that extra economy needed. At least for now, they're looking like a much more standard round. Yugi taking the aggression, spotting to see if the CTs are doing anything of kind, and, well, they're not. They've gone back to, again, a more default round. Interesting to see that Udochi have a man sat outside of the window room, just holding it passively. We have seen Heroic actually quite like to take control of it, boost up, so sitting back a little bit further, and allows quicker rotations over towards the B site, which has been a heavy prospect for Heroic so far in this game. I think in the early rounds, at least, we have seen that the T side have been almost favoring the site. Again, we're going to see the CTs now find all the information. They've gone aggressive over towards the apps. The smoke setup is going to come in towards A, but the CT should know it's coming.
Wall of smokes is down. Coldy could make all the difference. They haven't checked the angle, and Coldy lets them walk on by. They're going to assume it's clear. Coldy in with one. Can't quite deny the bomb plant, but he's going to be able to find himself a second. Darts down through the ladder. Man advantage for Spirit here. Oh, Modi gonna go down as Coldy's on a tear, in with 3. Bomb still working against them here, ticking away. They have to move swiftly. The last 2 players for Heroic reside over in middle. Yugi and Nico trying to hold this from Connector. Don't have a smoke to go for the bomb plants. They have to push into this. They've let that time work its way on down. In comes the Molotov, and time's gonna be the real issue here. Yugi will fall. Nico only gets 1. And sticking the defuse. Ooh. Team Spirit, they just managed to get that round. They will be in with the 12th, and once again, they've denied the match point the way Heroic. We could be seeing the fabled Heroic choke.
I love how his teammate dies. Like Coldy playing the ultimate bait play, but he does manage to get 3 kills, finally having an impactful round. It does come a little bit too close for comfort, though. The T side with that Molotov towards the end and no smoke being held by Team Spirit almost bites them. The fact is now, as said, the loss bonus built up. T side could go for an investment in this one. I'm kind of hoping they just go more for pistols rather than anything else. Just invest a little bit, maybe get some utility, try and get a bomb plant to make sure you have all the extra cash for the next couple of rounds. Because even if you get a bomb plant and you have the max loss bonus, and you've already saved a little bit, it just means that in the next round you'll have enough to continue the bombardment of this CT side. But it definitely looks like Team Spirit have finally started to come to life, and even some of the players that we're more expecting it from. As I said, Coldy, other than that round, I don't think we've really seen anything from him so far this game.
Yeah, he has been fairly quiet. Normally he's someone for Spirit, you know, we really see put up some serious numbers. Of course, just then, he was the savior in that round. Hopefully that's, you know, some signs of life from something that we otherwise presume dead.
Okay.
2 rounds
nice
between
bleak.
Yeah, well. 2 rounds between Spirit and Heroic right now. And Heroic, I think, I mean, in their hearts and minds, they already thought they'd won this, and now
Back to basics.
gonna be the A push. Wall of Smokes goes on down for the cross. Smoking up jungle instead to allow these guys to get that bomb down. Gonna be 5v5, retake server style as Coldy open things up for Team Spirit. Gonna get rid of Nico. See, they started to rotate a player back through T-Spawn, but now they've decided against it. No, they're going to go for it now as Moddy's able to find two in CT. Kept in the 3-on-3. And no, rotating back from T-Spawn. Really don't know what they're doing here, Heroic. They've decided to stack all their eggs in one basket. Everyone over here on the ramp. That one smoke has single-handedly smoked off everyone on this Danish side. They come pushing on out. They have to try and take the doors, and Coldy's left 1v2. Going to be sticking it, but will get denied as S-Tag takes himself 3 big frags at the end there. Heroic, they've managed to reach match point. 15-12. Team Spirit buying down what they can. Gonna have the AWP for Sophic. Imagine you're gonna see him throw that across the Davcost. Pause is called in.
I think this is their last one as well. But then again, if they lose this round, it's the last round of the map.
Yeah.
So fair enough, really. It seemed like they were set up in a pretty good position there from on the CT side to actually retake that, but I think it just got a little bit hectic towards the end. S-Tag has now moved to the top of the board, and we actually had Yugi, I think in the first half he was quite far in front. He has gone a little bit quiet in this position at the moment. Now, of course, if they win the map, I don't think they're going to mind too much. I think it was Yanko saying that going on to Nuke, they should be winning it about 95% of the time. It's a very strong map, not only for them, just sort of for Danes in general, but we are going to go back into this round. The CT side, crunch time. They need to try and take this one to OT. Nuke is going to be a tough one, and, well, we talked about going back to basics. It seems to be the case. Straight into this B side, go the T side.
Sophic starts to rotate away. Dima and Sophic between them. They're going to be shutting down this push. Sophic rattles the railgun down range, and Heroic there sent packing. Yugi left in a 1v4. And it just maybe was not meant to be in this round. The B rush has failed them. Oh. Yugi. Okay, that's a bit fancy. Going to be able to get himself the first. Players wrapping around from behind. It's going to be the UMP on Coldy. Deadly for Yugi to try and contend with. Misses the first shot, but Coldy's gone down, and there's no way that Yugi starts to make his way back into this round. Now a 1 versus 2. 3 frags to his name. He has to go ahead and get the ace if he wants to pick this up. And really, it's all a matter of, does he go for this?
Oh, I think at this point he must be, right?
Invested so much into this round. Going to start to make his way across, and Davcost locks down the angle. The AWP has eluded them as Yugi falls at the end.
The money.
And that's why, I was questioning, would it be worth even going for that? I mean, 1v2, we saw him claw it back. I mean, would have made a fantastic play.
I think,
but it's risk versus reward, and, I don't take risks.
I think after the first couple, the rush of blood sort of just gets you going a little bit, and I think even probably his teammates were like, no, do you know what?
He said
feel
the
like
Russian blood, does?
No. The rush of blood. He was spilling Russian blood.
There you go.
But yeah, we are going to now have straight eco. We've seen Team Spirit do pretty well in these rounds. A couple of aces coming in prior, and is it going to be flawless once again? Yes, it is. So every single player survives for Team Spirit. Money going to be flawless going into the final round. And we're actually just going to see them upgrade anything that they can. And actually here, the T side are going to be the ones struggling. So this is a great opportunity for Team Spirit to now turn this back, take it to OT. And for Heroic, well, you sort of have to wonder if they are just throwing this one away. We'll see if they can close things out. A very close map in the end. And, well, as said, it's been those A site sort of setups that have been better for Heroic, so they're going to go back to it once again.
Yeah, lining up the smokes and flashes as simple as it gets. She's going to go in with the standard smokes for the cross, you'd imagine. One for CT, one over at stairs, and then one for the cross from jungle. Yeah, I've got a man over towards Palace. He's the one who can make all the difference. We've seen it's usually been Coldly playing here. He does take the first, but that's it for him. The trades rain through, and Davkost, oh, get a leg Aztec down. He's going to count his lucky stars that he didn't fall there. As be a 4-on-4 in the retake. Aztec continues pushing, and he's going to be able to find Davkost. Arch falls as well, and Dima, Sophic, 2 versus 4. All or nothing here for Spirit. A potential overtime. Or they lose this first map. Dima's gone down. Sophic left 1v4. Snappy's looking the wrong way. He's allowed to sneak up from behind. Should better find this frag, no problem, as they've got no idea. Oh, gonna go running on in. Snappy will fall, but time's working against him. There's so little left. He has to move swiftly, and even then, it's asking a lot of him. Yugi gonna finish him off, and that will be it. 16-14 as Heroic. They managed to win out map number 1. Team Spirit, I mean, they pulled it back so incredibly close to securing an overtime, and then to lose it in round 30. They went the full distance, you know, and for it all to elude them there at the finish line, you got to feel bad for them. That's not going to be great in terms of the mentality. It was 16-14 in favor of Heroic. But Tom, I mean, there's still potentially 2 more maps.
Yeah, I think the big thing for me, at least, when it comes to that game, you have to sort of worry a little bit about those A retakes. Because I think there were a couple there from Team Spirit where you go, okay, you get the man advantage, and then you still just all push in, and then towards the end, they just seem to lose their minds a little bit, just throw some smokes down and just hope that they can sort of just play. Like, there was the round where I think there was either 3 or 4 players over towards ramp from Heroic, and they had the utility to deny them pushing out. They even threw down the smokes, and then you see them just still peeking ramp, and you think, just get someone on the bomb or get someone to try and bait out the pushes rather than you just running towards the blender.
As well as that, I mean, even in terms of allowing them to get that bomb down, there were times where they would just smoke things and then be like, I'm going to push my own smoke.
But well, it's more like if you're allowing them to get the bomb down and setting up for a 5v5 retake, you have to have like well-prepared retakes. You have to have the utility available. You have to be sort of setting yourselves up into positions where you know what you're doing. Otherwise, play more aggressive. Don't allow them to have the site, because that just seemed to be the biggest problem for me, was that A site Mirage. The B site, their retakes look better. Their actual just hold of the site. It started a bit sketchy. I think Sophic going down quite early in a lot of the beginning rounds for the T side sort of left them in such a deficit that, okay, when it comes to coming back, it was a little bit more difficult. Either way, I don't think we're really employed to sort of break down the game.
We have qualified.
No, all qualified. That too. We have a few other people to do that. I think we're going to a short ad break, and then we'll be back with the analyst desk.
CS.Money, a new service for trading your skins. Tired of all the skins piling up in your inventory? With CS.Money, trading got faster and safer than ever. Now you can just sign in to our website, choose the skins from your inventory and those you want to get from a broad variety. Confirm the trade and rejoice in your new skins. CS.Money, the best service for trading your skins.
E-gaming bets, online betting for every esports fan. Dota 2 and Hearthstone, CSGO and Overwatch, StarCraft 2, the choice is yours. Express bets for multiple matches or live bets on the game you are watching right now. Know your way around Dota 2, make a prediction for picks and bans. Playing CSGO, guess the number of rounds in a certain match. Daily quest for all participants and all the best choice of payment systems. More than 600,000 users have already made their bets on the spectacular matches since 2011. EGB.com. You know for sure who's gonna win.